Okay, we have the green bars, we have the live counter ticking up, so we should now be live, which of course means welcome back to the Storytime Network. No D&D today because an inferior sport is having some big match.
Yeah, the superb owl. It's a very, very great bird to some. Others will say it's very overrated.
Hello. Look, I just spent the weekend watching rugby. I mean, that England-France match last night was fucking superb. And yeah, I refuse to believe anybody who can watch that and say, "Oh no, American football's better," because it's not.
Look, I'm watching the Super Bowl for two reasons, neither of which is the actual matchup. Reason number one, the commercials, while they can be hit or miss, are often quite entertaining. And two, the halftime show is going to be fire, even if Kendrick doesn't wind up crucifying Drake live on stage.
That's fair.
Nothing fancy, like where you're from.
Ferelden's a storied kingdom. Its heroes have shaped the path of our age.
Yeah, but Ferelden is also a
Nicest thing
shithole.
anyone up here has said about Ferelden. Most people
Rip.
Well, let's be honest, Ferelden is a shithole.
talk about how Ferelden's just dogs and mud.
I mean, yeah, it's the dusty, dirty, muddy fantasy setting that we all know, and love is a strong word.
Love in inverted commas, yeah. Right, so we got that. Lovely. Down here now. I'll bring us over here.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
I keep seeing movement and thinking it's enemies when it's just the workforce.
That's what happens when you train your eyes too much in these kinds of scenarios.
Alright, I won't touch the sand. Might, you know, slide down it, but I won't touch it. I might break some pottery, but that's fine, right? You're okay with breaking pottery. Right,
Pots, everybody.
Door over here, which is locked for the time being. Right, we went in that room at the end of the last stream, didn't we? Because it had the depressing person who'd been, like, buried alive or something. So I think we've got maybe a couple more main areas to unlock, and then we can get going to a different place. Thank you, Harding.
Yeah. How about them Shonen Jump chapters today?
I mean, obviously, you're going to be most focused on One Piece, I'm sure, but there's some good chapters elsewhere as well.
You don't burn the dead. You just
Yeah, the Blue Box chapter was really good. Nice wrap up to that arc.
Okay, who did that? Oh, you.
I do think it's very funny that last chapter kind of set up like it was going to be a last-minute victory basket, but no, they were actually ahead enough that it wouldn't matter, and it was just icing on the cake. Meanwhile, things are getting pretty crazy on the elusive samurai front.
As it turns out, a faction that, you know, was willing to betray people the first time is willing to betray them a second time.
It's almost like they have like a very severe case of chronic backstabbing disorder.
Yeah.
Coming at range.
Well struck, Rook.
It's almost like if Takauji was, you know, willing to betray his lord and emperor for power, he'd even be willing to betray his brother to keep said power.
Yep.
Though he is finding that power isn't quite as enjoyable as he imagined.
Yeah.
Which, you know, poor Diddums.
I do also almost feel bad for Takauji's brother, even if he is kind of a piece of shit in his own right. Just because he invested so much loyalty into Takauji only to get stabbed in the fucking back.
Yeah. I mean,
I see we've company.
on a similar front, poor Diddums.
Time to fight.
You reap what you sow to a certain extent.
Yep. Speaking of reaping and sowing, Toki's going to be having a very interesting conversation.
Well, certainly, you know, fucking, the three girls definitely wanted to, sow some wild oats, let's say.
Uh-huh.
Time to finish this.
Yeah, no, they were prepared to go to rather great lengths, as it turns out. Fortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to come to that.
That's the last of them.
I am very interested as to how Tokiki's going to handle the whole thing.
I mean, if nothing else, it seems like he's been expecting them.
Yes.
Though we'll obviously have to wait until next week to see to what degree.
Mm-hmm. I believe we are also only about 4 years away from the historical Tokiki's death.
Mm-hmm. Right.
These are instructions.
So I am very curious as to
Lighting
how
candles will drive away malign
that's going to get
spirits
handled
and
when
wolves.
we get there eventually.
Practice. Let us see if it avails us.
Let's look for those candles we have that will cleanse this place.
I'm willing to wager that it's probably going to wind up being a case of Tokiki faking his death and just disappearing.
I mean, possibly, but, you know, it's fucking Matsui. We know he's not, you know...
Matsui doesn't pull punches, but at the same time, Matsui also has played a lot with the historical aspects.
I mean,
candle.
look, we'll obviously just have to wait and see. But like I said, Matsui's most known work right now, you know, had a tragic ending. Had an
More
inevitable,
bittersweet than outright tragic, though.
inevitable bittersweet ending. So it's not impossible that he'll go the same route with Lucis Samurai here.
Oh, I don't think it's impossible. I just think that, given what I know of what the work has been so far, I don't imagine. I do think it's probably going to be a bit more upbeat than the historical record would indicate.
Yeah.
A despair spirit.
Yeah, we're still a ways away from that point. Right now, we're in the middle of wacky rom-com hijinks.
Yeah.
Contrasted against horrific political backstabbing. Yeah. Also, Ichi the Witch had a very good chapter.
Yeah. Some little bit of backstory for Descartes.
Yep.
You get some explanation why she was not the happiest about Ichi's decision last week.
Yep. Also interesting that the prophecy had been in place for the most part for a while, but it recently got updated.
Yeah.
That does make me a bit sus of the prophecy person. And for no other reason than I think the prophecies are more flexible than chief reports.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending of the chapter was really good too.
Mm. Ever in eternity we lie.
Yeah, now that One Piece chapter though, really good stuff.
As it turns out, there is a reason we haven't seen Scopper Gaban anywhere. Because he's actually being a
because he's on Elba.
he's being a good dad. Cough, cough, Yasop.
Yeah, no, he's actually present in his family's life, which I think that makes like maybe 2 or 3 examples we see in the President's story where both parents are alive, present, and caring. Because the only other one I can think of off the top of my head is Beijing and his family.
Yeah.
Wild to think about. But yeah, also, Oda was absolutely knows what he was doing when he gave Gaban the nickname Mountain Eater.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take a bow wow.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if the man wants to go exploring.
Okay, so I've got to go straight across.
Have the vows in the vaults of the
Yeah,
beloved.
that door is still...
Yeah, it'll be it is pretty wild that we got 4 chapters in a row before we got a break.
Hmm.
I know this chapter was a bit shorter, but still.
Your power is quite unlike other magic I've seen, Harding.
I mean, hey, yeah, Oda obviously enjoyed his Christmas and New Year's break.
It's actually easy. Maybe
Yep.
too easy? Actually, do you have tips on holding magic back?
I know mental exercises to calm the mind, but if the issue runs deeper than...
Great, I'll take them.
Got that door open now. Means we can go up here. We can open.
Yeah, I do imagine like Scopper was always going to be like the last major big lore character drop that we got outside of like a big old Void Century flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, O's left us a lot to sit with over the next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of the past few chapters.
I mean, I think it's a fair assumption that Scopper has been in contact with Rayleigh, right?
one bit in the cover story.
What was that?
Remember the cover story during Fishman Island,
No.
where we see Crocus having a drink with who it turns out is Scopper.
No.
That skeleton that used to be a spirit of curiosity is gone.
Fair enough.
Our
That was
gratitude.
that was like super
The
far
magic
back in the story.
animating this haunting
That
is
was 14
ancient.
years ago in real life.
Remember that I read Fishman Island all of maybe once, like
There are no further
6
signs
years
of the
ago.
Venatorium. However, we may wish to see some.
Yeah, true. But yes, funny enough, Scopper's very first appearance is a brief cameo in Buggy's flashback, all the way back in the first fucking saga,
Yeah.
which means that Oda has been setting this up for 27 years.
That's Oda for you.
God fucking damn it, Oda.
Alright, so Davrin and Lucanus are talking there, and then Nev and Balara are talking there. And we gotta give Emmerich his gift.
Yeah, I've seen some people theorizing that Gabon is the man marked by flames, and I kind of don't see it.
Maybe
No.
Spide wants a bedtime story.
It would be. I
Because
think it
what
would
we
be a
know
weird
about the
one.
man marked by flames, yeah. What we know is very different from what we know of Gabon at this stage.
Yeah.
How thoughtful, Rook.
I'm also not sure if he'd actually help Blackbeard and his crew.
Gabon? Probably not.
I mean, did the conversation happen after the time skip?
What with
With the
Gabon and Crocus?
no, the
took a lot of notes while you were away.
Blackbeard's
About
crew
what we
and the
did
man marked
who
by
we
flame.
met and what I thought you might notice. I know.
It seems to have taken place during the time skip, but we don't know any details.
Maybe it would help. I'm sorry. That's no.
It's great, Belle. Really. Thanks.
Okay, and then one more very important thing to do while we're still at the lighthouse. Who's a good boy?
Oh, give them all the scritches.
Right, let's go to Arlathan. Should have taken Arlathan. Go Balara and Tosh. That seems like it could be a fun combination. But yeah, then I definitely don't think it'll be Gabon, because you know Roger's crew respected Whitebeard, and fucking Blackbeard, you know, killed him and took his
Is
power.
a prick who betrayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get some of this rubble cleared up.
Can't spare anyone at the moment.
Who's the mystery woman?
I hear she's called Lady Morrigan.
What's she doing here?
Strife knows her.
I mean, she's
Someone
not here
said she's a
anymore.
witch of the wild.
Sounds like a fancy type. She might have some coin. I could use the business. Have a look.
Alright. Ooh, that might be enough. It is enough. Cool. Level 3.
You are Kana.
I'll have to actually check what I've already got on. This is the annoying part. Like I said, they don't actually tell you, you know, fucking, if you're upgrading something, that doesn't actually show you, like, comparison-wise, which is annoying.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That would be good, though. Alright, let's get the mementos. Do need those. Let's get this because the health boost is always nice. Gift. That's all. Right, so orbs and then armor for us and armor for Blara. But we need to check. Probably check what it is first. So that one's 224, that one would be 276. So there's probably no point getting this one. 276 on the weapon, and then we're talking sort of 69, 93%.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. 96.
Till next time.
So, got ours, which is 251. So, I'm fairly sure the other one was better. Armor's 104. But its ability also isn't that useful to me. Whereas this one's ability would be, it'd be less defense, but hey, I'm just going to try not to get hit.
Yeah, just don't get hit. Skill issue.
Exactly. Blara. Yeah, that's a lot better.
Time.
Next time
Lot
is
of
2
weird
seconds later.
things lurking in the forest. I got the goods to kill most all of them.
Right, we'll leave that one for now. We'll do this. We'll definitely get this for Blara. We won't get that. Won't get that. Those two are heavy, and I don't think I'm going to wear heavy armor. Do I get... I mean, I'll get it, because I've got a fair amount of money anyway, and it's probably worthwhile, but I don't think I'm going to use it. I'll get this, just 'cause it's nice to get those. Right.
Come back anytime.
If the gods are stirring up trouble in Alathan, we won't have enough bell jumpers to handle this.
How's the nug?
We'll need help.
Agreed.
Alright, ignore me.
First, we
Right then. So, where are we going? So, we've got that one there. We can do first. Got that one over there, and then we've got Davran's here. Really wish those two weren't in opposite directions of each other.
Well, maybe we should do Davern's last, because we don't have Davern with us.
Yeah.
Loosen the lid for you. Hitting us from range. Gonna be taking fire.
No, no. Those things are weak as shit. So it's fairly easy to take care of them. And the other thing putting this armor on does is it gives us some extra mana, which is always helpful. So I've got one thing here. Oh, hi, friend.
Over there. That could be the haunting spirit Mary talks
Nocturnix.
about.
The Veil Jumpers talk about a spirit
Oh, hi, Mark.
roaming these woods since the gods showed up. I mean, we call it the Nocturnix. I heard its sleep was stolen by the gods. So now it steals other people's dreams.
Let's
Sounds pleasant.
Mio.
When do you think the phrase meteoric rise is coined?
I don't know. Because it's generally accompanied with fall. Maybe Icarus?
Maybe. I usually see like meteoric rise to fame as like the go-to usage of that phrase. So it might be like when the word star became associated with like big name celebrities.
Yeah.
I don't know when that was, but it was sometime during Hollywood's golden age.
Ah, fuck it.
To the right.
Definitely didn't hit me.
Neener, neener.
Hey, there we go.
Stirring up trouble.
Arlathan sure doesn't need any more.
Okay. 25% healing would be nice.
Trouble, that is. Maybe now he'll get the sleep that was stolen from him.
Let's hope so. We don't need him causing any fucking trouble when he doesn't get a night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that one's then wants us to go back. We said we'd go and do this one. It's 10 to 40. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad. And, you know, hopefully we can find some fucking health along the way. Oh, good.
Let's see what you got.
Maybe wasn't the best place in the world for me to come down. Let's drop another meteor on their heads.
Not bad.
There we go. Oh, there's still this guy.
You got it. Solid.
Oh, there we go. Problem dealt with. I can't believe anybody ever lived here.
The earliest instance of the phrase meteoric rise or any possible antecedents I can find is from Parnell's poem, The Gift of Poetry. The line, but meteors rise, short-lived the meteors rise.
Right. Meteors rise?
So remember, way back in the day, people didn't know that meteors were rocks falling from the sky. Like, the whole thing with meteors is that they were just flames passing across the sky, so people thought, oh, they must rise to get there. Because a meteor, I believe, derives from, like, into the air or of the air.
I guess. Where the fuck am I going? Right.
Yeah, linguistics and linguistic drift are funny things.
Ooh, health. Need that. Get Valara to help heal me. Now I just need to find one more, and I'll be back at full health. I don't know. I still think saying meteors rise is wrong.
So, Tosh,
I mean, we know that intuitively, but, like, people back then
Lords
didn't
of
know
Fortune.
that.
I know.
You're treasure hunters, right?
Yep.
and that includes ruins?
Because that poem was from,
Elven
like, the
ruins?
late 1600s, early
I
1700s.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
I could have just gone up. Oh, damn it. Right, there's the health, and I discovered there is actually an easier way than the map was trying to send me. I don't know why the map was trying to send me that way. That seems very dumb, but... well, that is a big circle round that is unnecessary.
Please squares, mixed circle. All the goal.
And I can... what was it again? Here? I just made the journey in reverse like 2 seconds ago, and I've already forgotten what I did. How is this possible?
ADHD.
Yeah. I already complained about that in our little ADHD chat.
Mm-hmm.
This way. This way? Maybe.
Trouble coming.
Honestly, I'm just gonna ignore you guys. You do you. Don't do that again, otherwise I will not ignore you. Alright, there we go.
So, random question for you, Mill.
Alright.
Who do you think is the most iconic film composer of all time?
Film composer?
Yes. There is a right answer here.
Okay. I mean, there are certain names that are popping into my head, but now that you've said there's a right answer, it's made me self-conscious.
No, it's not. I'm not saying, like, your opinion is wrong on who the best is. I'm saying, like, who has objectively made which film composer has objectively made the greatest number of iconic film compositions.
I mean, Zimmerman has got to be up there, right?
Zimmer, I'd probably say is second or
That sounds
third.
like the trapped demon in the necropolis.
Degrade Egyptian. I'll flay you alive before you find the treasure I've prepared.
Like, Zimmer has made a lot of very memorable compositions and very good soundtracks in general. But there is one who eclipses even him.
Go on.
John Williams.
Oh, that was another name in my head.
Like, objectively speaking, I'm pretty sure that John Williams is the most prolific composer of iconic film scores there is. Like, I don't think there's anyone who really comes close. Like I said, Hans Zimmer is probably the runner-up, but I could name like 5 John Williams scores for every one I could name of Hans Zimmer that just immediately pops into my head.
Yeah.
But barring those two, who's your favorite film composer?
God, Can we just put a pause on this conversation? This is actually quite a hard boss battle.
Fair. Okay. I will give you my answer while you're doing that then. I would say, at least recently, it's Junkie XL. Who did a lot of the Zack Snyder DC movie soundtracks, as well as Mad Max Fury Road and some of the Monsterverse soundtracks as well. Yeah, Junkie XL has some really good stuff. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna pull up his record to see if he recognizes anything else he's composed. I think it's a group actually. Nope, he is a singular composer. Okay. Oh, okay. His real name is Tom Holkenberg. He's Dutch.
Finish them now.
Hey!
He's been active for quite a while.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
That demon knew us. It sounded exactly like the one
Okay,
trapped behind that
so-
door in the necropolis.
He's done
Some
Mad
powerful
Max Fury
spirits can
Road,
project splits of
Deadpool,
themselves. That must be what the one
Batman v Superman, Alita, Battle Angel, Sonic the Hedgehog, Godzilla vs. Kong, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Godzilla x Kong, Furiosa, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as well. He's done some really good stuff, though.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of those films you've watched yourself, but...
I do not remember off the top of my head. You know what? You guys go after that one. I'll take care of this one. These are just some ordinary mooks. These, you know, they're not a big deal.
Unsurprising, there are a lot of fucking people score composers out there.
Right below.
Oh, not dead.
There we go.
There we go. So I'm not, like, especially, oh, for fuck's sake. Why are there so many people wanting to kill me in this forest?
Fuck, I forgot Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman is another one that, like, I'm not particularly, like, knowledgeable on individual composers. The likes of Elfman, Zimmerman, and Williams are ones that even I know, sort of thing.
Yes. I mean, I could name a few other ones, like Ennio Morricone, who, you know, worked on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, for example. That old chestnut. James Newton Howard is another one. Howard Shore.
Howard Shore is
big one.
Howard Shore is one that I will always remember just because of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. James Porter did a few. I don't remember which ones off the top of my head. Jesus Christ. So, some of James Porter's most famous ones are Aliens, Field of Dreams, Apollo 13, Braveheart, A Beautiful Mind, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Land Before Time, Mask of Zorro, Jumanji, Casper, Balto, Troy, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Clint Mansell is another one I think is super underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with his work?
Not off the top of my head.
So he composed for Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, and Black Swan, amongst others.
Let's get going.
His most iconic song is Lux Aeterna,
said it was the fastest way,
which is
Right.
which has been used quite a few times in trailers.
Yeah.
And gingerwort truffles were the Griffin's favorite treats. They grow around ruins. We're going to teach Hassan how to find some.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, I'm not overly familiar with individual composers, but I obviously, you know which movie soundtracks I like. Lord of the Rings ones are, you know, some of them. The other ones are Jurassic Park, which is obviously John Williams.
Yep. Also, I Google searched best film composers, and guess who's at the very top of the list?
Is it John Williams?
It's John fucking Williams.
Yeah.
To be fair, he has been working for 70 fucking years.
Yeah.
How did you end up with the Grey Wardens?
Oh, Jack, do you remember the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Holton Boyle investigated a famous was it flautist, I think?
Yeah, I suppose.
I think so, yeah. I remember, yeah.
I think it was oboe player, actually. I think it was oboe player.
You're out in
Might
the
have been.
world looking for adventure.
But his name is John William Weichelbraum. And I was the reaction channel that I watch, like, they're all big Star Wars fans. So as soon as Holt said John William, they all went, "What? Weichelbraum? Who?"
Yeah, that's a good one.
And the editor for the video put in the the fucking Star Wars sting.
Look, Star Wars is one of the most iconic soundtracks ever. And John Williams made like 50 of those iconic soundtracks.
Yeah.
Maybe we can speed things
Just to
up.
name a few, we already talked about Jurassic Park and Star Wars. There's also Jaws.
That was a
Indiana Jones, Hook, Saving Private Ryan, Superman,
Yeah.
Home Alone, and the first 3 Harry Potter films.
Nug droppings.
Like, say what you will about Harry Potter,
Bernard's pretty
which
much
we have said a
known
lot
for his
over the course of our time on streams.
I mean, the production of the
but-
movies is not bad by any stretch.
Looks.
Exactly. And John Williams' score for the first 3 movies is
What'd I
Yeah.
tell you?
iconic.
Actually,
To the point that
I
I'm
think
pretty
it's
sure most of the rest of the films
Maybe
basically just
the
like
nugs like
riff
truffles.
heavily off
Could Hassan know that
those
if you follow them, you might
soundtracks.
find
Yeah.
truffles?
Are you really that smart, boy?
I mean, can't really blame them. Oh fuck, he did Fiddler on the Roof? What?
Seems pretty clever to me.
If only you'd be clever enough to listen.
Well, you're still getting to know each
Warhorse
other.
Lincoln.
Remember, Turlum. Remy was probably right. Remember how she said he needed a lighter touch?
If I go soft on him, the world would chew him up.
Let's give you both a chance and see if he can find any more of these.
How?
Find some nugs? See
Soundtrack
what
into the
happens.
national.
So how did you
recording.
go from hunter to slayer of monsters?
Uncle
Which-
Eldrin. An old
Yeah.
elf I knew growing up. When I was a
And
kid, I'd hunt
the
just
American
about
Film
anything.
Institute placed
Rabbits,
John Williams'
deer,
score of Star Wars
fox.
#1 on
Eldrin
their
gave that
top
purpose.
100
Led
film
me the way
scores.
of 3
Shocker.
trees. The way of the arrow, way of the bow, way of the wood.
That sounds noble.
Eldrin taught me to hunt the unnatural
Oh?
so the natural
Hello.
can thrive. Be a force for
Hey,
good.
Kaido.
Besides,
We're talking about movie
it was
scores
either
right now.
that or starve.
Yeah, I was watching the
just pay
stream
good
for a bit while I
coin.
was sorting some stuff out.
But why become a Grey Warden? If you were making money
How's
on your own,
the Dragon Age
I didn't leave
going?
my clan to get rich.
Had
to prove
a
it
bit
was
of a
all
tough
worth
fight
something.
with one of the formless
Needed a
one
cause.
there must be
demons,
easier
but
causes
got
than
through it.
Yeah,
fighting
the-
Darkspawn all your
Now we're
life.
taking a
Darkness
taking a walk
is
with
a
Davrin
sparring partner.
and
The greater the
Hassan.
shadow you confront,
Son, my
the
beloved.
stronger you are for winning.
Till you meet one you can't beat.
I was talking to my
yet.
brother a while ago, and I was saying how Davrin is actually probably in my top 3 of favorite companions in this game. Like, if they did have the standard, 4 party members like they did in the past games, I would have
Yeah.
I'd have him in my team all the time, probably. So, yeah.
What I am kind of sad about with this game is that it's reduced the party size by 1.
I think Hassan's got something.
It's a shame, but I like that, thankfully, it's not as if the combat is... How would I describe it? The
be
combat's
damned.
clearly designed
All the
around
nugs.
Like I
it
said,
working, so it
he's a
doesn't
clever
feel
one.
too bad to me.
Might make a
Yeah.
tracker out of you yet. Hungry?
If
What?
anything, there were times in the
It's
past Dragon Age
Gingerwood.
games where I felt
Eat
like
it.
it was
Remember,
really tough to
light
even win some
touch.
fights, even with
I
4
mean-
people.
It's dessert fit for a prince.
Matter of balancing
See?
things, really. Hassan is a good boy.
He is.
He'll be fine. He just has a strong spirit. Let him grow into it.
Might not have time for that. With Lancet and Remy gone, if something happens to me, he'll have to stand on his own.
So don't let anything happen to you.
I'm a Grey Warden. Death's around every corner. Not that I don't enjoy punching it squarely in the face.
I was working
2
on
or 3
stuff for the
times, just to
D&D
be sure.
campaign yesterday before the one where I'm a player
But you
happened.
can't beat back death forever.
And honestly, at the rate we're going at, we'll probably be into Act 2 in,
Okay, boy.
at
That's enough for one
most,
day.
3
But
sessions.
he's having fun.
Okay.
He overeats, and you'll find
This,
out how fun
this
Griffin
story arc
Cook
isn't
is.
supposed to be terribly long anyway.
Hassan, you heard him.
Um,
Let's go.
I just wanted a good way to connect
Yeah.
the first and the second arcs into each other. And I like the idea of like, oh, the party's gone. Well, now everything's kind of going to shit without you guys.
As it turns out, we were a load-bearing adventurer party.
Well, it doesn't help that, like, you know, a lot of good fighters were helping when it came to getting you into Blackrain.
Yeah.
Does kind of leave things vulnerable on the home front.
Also, it seems like apparently Zaris has let them in.
Yeah, very curious to follow up on that.
I'm amazed I made that jump.
I am.
Hardcore parkour.
I had no right to make that jump.
So, those artifacts you find, you sell them?
Some of them. The
It's
rest go
fine,
Shiv.
you just the go.
Who's Shiv?
Elven guy. He's from a Dalish clan that works with us.
A clan works with you?
Yeah. Shiv makes sure we don't sell anything sacred to your people.
Huh.
Look, not all treasure hunters are extremely unethical assholes. Only most of them are.
I mean, like I said when she was first introduced, Isabella has learned from her mistakes.
Yes, exactly.
Big mistakes, though.
Yeah.
Look, everybody makes mistakes. Some mistakes just have to have a lot more consequences than others.
I mean, look, Isabella's mistake led to the death of an Arashok.
Well, depends on your playthrough.
Yeah.
You could just decide to give her to the Arashok.
Which, I'm pretty sure most people see as a dick move.
Watch ahead.
I mean, yeah, but it's also all her fault.
Oh, yeah, no, it's all her fault, but, like... not everyone should suffer, like, that kind of consequence for these games.
I'd be really tempted to know I wonder what the playthrough would be like to get the most amount of party members, like, gone from the group.
So, you can,
Aveline can
kill Anders after... Yeah. You can kill Anders.
Yeah.
Fenris you can sell into slavery, which I am shocked that is actually an option.
You can
and,
have your
I think...
surviving sibling die in the deep throat if you don't bring Anders.
Yes. And I don't know if Meryl can be kicked out of your party or not.
The only thing I know with her
know...
is if you don't complete her friendship or rivalry and then pick the Templars, she'll turn on you.
Ah, okay.
Because it's the opposite case for Fenris, where if you pick the mages and don't complete his stuff, he will turn on you.
So I'm pretty sure every single companion except for Varric can leave you in some way.
Yeah.
Or can be
you could just not
you.
recruit. You could just not do Sebastian's DLC.
I mean, when we did it on stream,
Fuck
we
Sebastian.
We just decided,
Yeah,
fuck it, it wasn't worth the time and the effort.
I don't know of anyone who actually likes Sebastian.
I am going to recruit him when I eventually play 2, because I never did on my first playthrough on my PS3, because I was getting to grips with the game, and I was like, I don't want to recruit another companion that, like...
Yeah. Now we need a crystal from somewhere. Alright, that's inaccessible. No, I would still say 2 is probably my favorite Dragon Age game, though honestly I'd put this up there with it.
I had the least amount of complaints with 2, but I also feel like... How would I describe it? I don't feel like 2 met the highs of Origins. Nor did it ever meet, say, the lows of some of the other series did for me. Some of the other games in the series did for me, even. Because I really, really love Origins. I think it's the same with Mass Effect 1, though. I like that they're both the world-building games.
Yeah.
And I think because it's world-building, everything feels so interesting when you first see it. Like, when you have the first ogre fight, it's so, like, scary.
Yeah.
I also wish more things in the series had as much creepy stuff as Origins kinda did. Like with, what's the... Is it Haven? The town where everyone's, like, actually a psychopath.
Yes, Haven, yeah.
Yeah, I wish there was more stuff like Haven in the game, because I feel like Haven was such a cool location. And, you know, as much as horrible as the Fade is...
I mean, I think the Fade can work. It just needed to be sort of rethought in the sense of, okay, we need to make it so that, you know, if you are playing, you know, a non-warrior or whatever, you can survive on your own, sort of thing.
I played a warrior and I still got my ass beat.
Yeah.
I do like, I did like the Fade, at least just conceptually. It's just a shame that it is not fun to do.
Yeah.
Although I'd say the deep roads are worse.
Yeah, no, it doesn't help that the deep roads are probably like the most difficult in terms of actual content. So it's clear that it's like meant to be played later. But also one of the companions is tied into the deep roads as well.
I mean,
so, like,
Ogren's the worst companion, though.
He's not great.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, Ogren is just an awful character. You know, it's Steve Bloom did a great job voicing him, but, like, there's only so much Steve Bloom can do.
Yeah.
It isn't very strongly characterized, unfortunately.
And what he is characterized is just not great.
I also don't think it helps that, like, you're probably already used to having Alistair as your warrior.
Yeah.
If you're not already doubling up and having 2 warriors with yourself, or even using Shale. And,
or
like,
Sten's...
Well, Sten's the worst character, though. Like, if you're playing optimally, because you can only have one specialization. But, I mean, I do love Sten as a character.
Yep. It is kind of wild that you only have 2 mages and 2 rogues, but you have a fucking bounty of warriors to choose from.
I mean, every Dragon Age game is weird like that, because there's like, what, there's 3 rogues in 2? And there's only
there's
2
3
of each of the well, there's technically
there's 2 of
3
each outside.
I was just going to say, apart from Carver and, what's her name, Bethany, because they aren't with you from all of the game.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And I mean, you know,
like, there's always going to be an imbalance regardless.
Yeah. True. I forget, did everyone equal in Inquisition, didn't they?
Yes, there's 3 of each.
Right?
You have 9 companions total, and 3 of each class.
And they
because
did
they're
a
made to
good
match
job of
the
making
different
I was going to say they did a good job of making sure that one of each class is like the one character you don't want to use because they're just not likable.
Yeah, I think they definitely went too far in the opposing viewpoints in the companions in Inquisition, and they very much, you know.
I don't think it helps.
fairness,
I feel like there's clearly kind of just bad people in the Inquisition, but not in like a cool token evil teammate sort of way.
Oh, you mean like Cullen?
Well, I mean like in the party, because like Cassandra is such a wet blanket, and she also, in my opinion, I like Cassandra, but she also isn't. To me, I prefer Leliana because Leliana's like so much more progressive when it comes to Chantry, whereas Cassandra's very like. Cassandra's just very. Compared to Vivian, she's very much the centric.
Yeah.
And you know, you've got
Speaking
Sarah.
of Vivian, though, I do think she and Sarah are probably the...
Yeah.
We keep talking over
I was
each
gonna
other.
say Sarah has the. It's all good. You go ahead. Sorry.
No, say your thing. Say your thing.
I was just gonna say Sarah has the dubious honor of being the only companion you can kick out at any point in the game.
I think the devs recognize that a lot of people would find her very grating.
I mean, I don't even think Cullen's a bad character. I just don't think it helps that his voice actors left such a sour taste in the impression of the character. I mean, I don't think Cullen's a good person anyway.
Yeah. My issue is the distance between Cullen's characterization and how the narrative treats him.
I think if Cullen wasn't in 2, he'd be a much more better received character, but the problem is 2 makes him out to be like extremely complicit in lots of the horrible things that happen.
Yeah.
And there's no way for him
he's
to be
complicit in war crimes.
Whereas at least in 1, the worst thing he is just like a bit of an idiot and like a bit useless, which, you know, is unfortunately a lot of the authority figures in 1.
I mean,
actually, I remember there's the possible ending for him in 1 where he becomes a serial killer.
Yeah, and no, people want a sequel of this game. I guess we better retcon that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't blame them. I would have respected it if they if he was just replaced by a completely different Templar, like Samson.
Yeah. Honestly, Samson would have probably been more interesting as a choice, but...
Also, I can't imagine myself ever picking the Templars to help out in Inquisition.
Nah.
Because, like, I'm sorry, but the Templars don't get my sympathy when they're always punching down.
See, the issue with the Templar Mage conflict is that he tried to engineer it to be an equal conflict, except there's a very clear right and wrong answer there.
Like, you know, there are definitely some horrible people who are mages, but the Templars also get away with more atrocities. And a lot of the time the mages are only
designed for them.
Yeah.
Get clear.
Yeah, as you were saying, the mages really get the short end of the stick.
It doesn't help, but I think Inquisition also kind of made me dislike the mages to some degree. Just because of how stupid Fiona is. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying the Templars are right. Don't get it twisted. It's just like, meanwhile, city elves are even worse when it comes to being punched down. I feel like, because it's not as if they have magic. It's not as if they can set someone on fire to defend themselves.
Yeah.
I need to replay Origins, but I don't know if I could bring myself to do the City Elf Origin because that's some really fucked up shit.
I'm doing a City Elf Origin again, and I decided to play a rogue because I was like, I actually like the idea of being able to pick chests. Because it's so
I need to do a rogue
annoying.
playthrough.
I just find it so annoying having to wait for Leliana and having to spec her into lockpicking just to, like, not have all those chests be wasted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because unless you do that, you have to wait till you get Zephyrin.
Oh, the Storm Charge is good. I see you doing the same build as me. It's a good build.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've just... I don't know if you haven't been able to unlock it yet, but I have the, I have those two lightning abilities, and I also have one that does it so lightning strikes the ground every so often.
Oh, I've got 2 points. Tempest?
Yes.
Yeah, I do have it, and then the other lightning one is Storm Surge.
Because, I mean, have you done this build before, Mel?
No, this is my first mage in this game.
Because I know while I've been playing it, you don't even need to get, like... Because eventually one of the things you can get is that shocked damage also is considered, burning. And so they basically synergize off each other. And you eventually get an orb that lets you do, what do you call it? You get an orb that changes between fire and lightning damage.
Yeah.
Damn. So, what is the thing you're gonna go for next?
Not sure. That would probably be quite useful.
I know I got all of the abilities around Storm Surge. I mean, you don't have to do what I'm suggesting, though.
Storm Surge does look like it's a pretty powerful one.
Yeah, I just wasn't much of a fan of it when first using it. I don't know.
I didn't use it. I just had Chain Lightning, Tempest, and the Antivan Crow's dagger move.
Yeah, Void Blade is very fun. Chain Lightning is fun. I just like dropping meteors on top of people.
I get that.
You want to grab one of the buffs around it then, because that might help.
Can shot down detonates.
Ooh.
Guiding stacks, duration abilities. Not sure if I've got any duration abilities actually that I'm using.
If you get Tempest, then you will.
I mean, I think the issue, because I think I got Tempest quite early. The issue was that it was a, 100 mana cost, and obviously just didn't have that much mana at the time. I've got 200 now, so I could probably use it.
I mean, have you been getting? I assume you've been keeping on top with upgrading the forge at the lighthouse, right?
Yeah.
Because you should. Have you unlocked enchantments yet?
I believe so. Yeah, I just haven't really been using them.
You should be able to just slap some enchantments on and increase your mana cost.
I probably could, to be honest.
You can easily get to a point where you can actually use all 3 of your abilities back to back, quite comfortably.
I mean, to be fair, I am at that point now. Yeah, I'm just not using the staff.
The staff can be useful, especially if you let the staff charges up and just then do your big AoE attack.
What have we got right now? Yeah, I'm using...
Oh damn, Arcane swapped the Annie Awards. Again.
Oh.
Good for it.
I heard Season 2 wasn't as good as Season 1, but...
Yeah, that's a consensus. I kind of agree, but I still like Season 2. I think a lot of people are too harsh on it.
Anyway, right, I need to go and find that.
What other games have you been playing, Kaido?
Just a lot of Balatro.
Getting those games on your cards.
Yeah, I did a full... I've done, like, all of the states on one of the decks that I played. So I'm trying to get used to using other decks. My favourite one is the Abandoned deck, where it's literally a normal card deck, but every Jack, King, and Queen is just gone.
She's real hard on you, huh?
And it's really good for playing straights, which is always good.
It's a Tamasran thing. I think it's a mom thing. Ready for a fight? Left side.
Oh, you got that, one game we were talking about, right?
Which one?
The one that was, Honey Pop, right?
Yes, yeah. I've not touched it yet, though.
Oh, I thought you downloaded it because it was basically free.
I mean, I have downloaded it, I've just not played it yet.
Okay.
Like I said, I've just been too busy playing Balatro and Emerald Rogue, and I just beat Freedom Wars a few days ago.
I mean, from what I've heard of Balatro in particular, it sounds like a very addictive game, which is why I'm hesitating to do it.
I mean, the thing is with Balatro, you can just quit playing it anytime you want. Like, it's very easy to just pick up and play. Because there's no story, and because the whole thing is just doing runs, it's so easy to just be like, oh, this run's dead, restart. It's also just fun because of how adaptable it is. Because you could be like, oh, I want to do a run that primarily uses clubs. And then suddenly you get, like, the perfect cards to use hearts. And then suddenly you're playing a hearts build.
I've never seen anything like it. Where's the water coming from?
And it's just really fun because of that.
Or, I don't know.
And that and the dopamine rush when you can just kick the shit out of the score bonus you need.
That is pretty rad.
I'm still yet to hit E, though, when it comes to numbers. But, I'm getting there slowly. A lot of it's luck, though.
Mm-hmm.
Trouble nearby.
Yeah, that's how it is with card games. Like, no matter how much skill you have, sometimes you just get a really shit hand, you're SOL.
Trouble coming our way.
I mean, there have been times where I've just accidentally threw really badly.
Good shot.
But that's more just down to the fact that it's very easy to kind of autopilot, I feel like, in Balatro. And so, you know, like, when you're playing it, you could just, like, do the biggest fuck-up ever, and then be like, oh, great, now I've just wasted this actually winning run. I mean, it's not expensive.
Good. Needed some action.
It's, at least, in the UK, it's £12.79. I mean, Mill, maybe you should get it and play some streams of
it. Maybe.
I could sincerely see it actually doing very well for the channel. Just because Balatro's still really big and people still talk about it, so...
I think Fuzzy did do a stream of it at one point.
Yeah. That reminds me, I feel like, I know we're aborted run on that one horror game means that you are averse to try another one, but,
oh god.
There was one that both Fuzzy and I expressed an interest in trying at least once on stream.
Which was?
I think it was Slay the Princess or something.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one.
It might very well be to his vibe.
We'll see. I make no promises.
I mean,
anything.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to join us on that. It could just be,
You and Fuzzy.
It could just be us, yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
I was wondering why I could hear, like, a voice in the background, and I realised it's because of, Jack.
It looks like our boy Asan is feeling his
Oh no,
voice.
it's coming from Mill right
whatever
now.
Griffins feel.
But, I was, like, hearing characters talk, and I was like, who is it? Because I'm watching the stream, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a delay. Because I've got the stream muted.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy.
Just because I'm already playing the game already, I don't want too many obvious sources.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see Darkspawn and it's a fight to the death, like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Never be a deer. Good to know.
He'd probably leave them alone.
Probably?
You and I see a deer. Maybe he sees venison souffle. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Asan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that?
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Asan, his brothers and sisters, Still young. Pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
I'd like to think everyone can find a new path. Even griffins.
Just wish I knew what it was.
You'll get
Doesn't
that.
every good parent?
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about? Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, Davrin is a very good and interesting character. Always one I enjoy talking to.
How is Ninrathus since the dragon attack?
After the dragon attack, after demons swarmed the streets, after the palace shot at everyone, we're having a ball.
Ah, sorry.
What for? You didn't attack the city. The shadow dragons are dealing with it. At least, we're trying to. I just worry about Asher. He rests as much as we do.
Let's go to Dogtown. Who did you save, Kaido?
Dock to the top.
Which city?
Treviso. I'm under the impression that the Shadow Dragons are marginally better equipped to deal with a dragon attack than assassins. That was also why the fuck aren't the other party members there to protect the city you don't pick? It's not as if they're there with you fighting.
So I believe the point was that the only reason you managed to Rook managed to save the city that they choose is because they had the dagger, which drew the dragon down and stopped it from actually just attacking the city. Without it, you're sort of fucked.
Fair. I don't know though. I feel like the other party members could have at least ran damage control or something. Because to me, it just felt like they were twiddling the thumbs. But no, that is a fair point to make.
I think there was also an element of none of them are particularly experienced with fighting dragons, and so didn't really know, where to go for to bring it down, which is why you bring on Tash.
Fair.
I mean, even though it is the Dragon Age, there aren't a lot of dragons out and about.
And honestly,
that everyday people will encounter.
We keep killing them, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, every player character, in theory, kills at least one or two high dragons a play through.
Yes.
I remember forgetting to kill the one in Haven in Origins. I was like, I'm gonna come back to this, and I just never came back to it.
So, the demon of Vyrantia.
Meanwhile, first time I played through the game, I accidentally summoned the damn thing and was like, oh no, what do I do here? I'm not prepared.
Why did you hit the go?
I didn't know it would summon a dragon.
Oh my fuck.
I thought I was just ringing a bell.
Did you at least win?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah, Meteor is similar to, what was it, Origins, where Fireball was always my opening move in a fight. Meteor has tended to be that for me.
I mean, yeah, fair. I forget, there's no friendly fire in this, is there?
No.
Understood.
Okay, what's... I'm gonna start taking out these, because I think that's keeping you alive, which I don't like.
Fight on for the goal.
End it now. Hate to be on their side.
Well, luckily you're not, you know, fucking asshole biggest cultist. Okay.
So, the demon of Pyrantium.
Yeah, this is bad.
The name wasn't literal when I got it.
No, but the reputation that went with it.
I suppose I...
Break those crystals. We need to get through that barrier.
What crystals? There aren't any crystals. Are they on the other side? Are they down here?
About to have a problem.
We're going down, 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 down.
Yeah, I mean, I was, I said this last stream, as bad as Minrathous gets it if, you know, you basically let the, whatchamacallit, Venatori take it over, it's worse for Treviso. It's significantly worse for Treviso.
I was gonna say, it feels like Darktown's already a massive shithole, so it shouldn't be that much. I don't want to sound bad, but like...
I mean, put it this way, if you don't save Treviso, it gets blighted, and it's, I feel like it's a lot worse.
I mean, yeah, at least Venatori are mortal and can be killed. The blight just fucking stays there and festers.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, you know, the Venatori will eventually go away. And you can, you know, sort of help the effects there.
Also, apparently the character consequences are less severe if you save Treviso.
I mean, if nothing else, if you don't save Treviso, you can't romance Lucanus at all.
Minrathous, you can still eventually romance Neb. It's just she's hardened and it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Also, I did spend a good chunk of last Dragon Age stream just regaling Mill on a bunch of Fate lore.
Oh, why? Why did you do that to him?
Got through that.
For shits and or giggles. And he said he was okay with it, so...
Yeah.
I didn't even get into the crazy shit.
Oh god, you didn't?
No.
No, he just went into the shit instead.
So, the thing to keep in mind is that the Nasuverse, as it was, has a lot of deep lore that doesn't really get explored in most of the more well-known and or mainstream properties, because, you know, lore dense shit doesn't really go as mainstream as easily.
I don't think I'm of the opinion that Fate Go is somewhat of a factor in the direction of how they handle story.
Could be. I think Go is.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, Fate Go is a very interesting story. It helps that the storylines more or less improve as the game goes on. Like, there are some hiccups here and there with individual storylines, but, like,
I should hope
the overall... like, there were some growing pains with, like, the first overall story arc. The first handful of chapters there were on the weaker side. But by the time they got around, they had to start getting into the rhythm, and, not storyline, chapter in that arc. And the 6th chapter is when they get really good.
Right. I mean, how would I describe it? Like, I've kind of just given up on Fate, partly because, like, not only is there so much that never gets brought over to the West, it also just feels like... how would I describe it? I just... a lot of it's that, and also because I don't really care for Fate Go, I also feel like at that point, you know, unless I really want to get into Fate Go, I'm also missing out on all of that. And yeah,
there are several standalone Fate properties, even recently, like Strange Fakes 1, and then there's Fate Redline, which is a manga.
Right.
And those are pretty independent. Strange Fake is getting an anime adaptation. Sorry, dropped an OVA and an episode after that.
You had no right to catch that ledge.
No, probably not.
I've tried making that jump and I've never caught that ledge.
My take was they wouldn't put that ledge close enough for me to jump if I couldn't catch it. So I just went for it.
Hey, if it works, it works.
But yeah, like I do, like, because I really enjoyed Apocrypha when I watched that recently. And, you know, like, I still like the original series, and, you know, Zero, of course, but I feel like in the last stuff they've been putting out, I say last stuff, but, like, a lot of
most of the anime stuff has been Grand Order adjacent, yes.
I also don't like the Ilya Magical Girl series.
I don't bother with that one. What I will say is, the El Malloy case files of it are pretty good.
I forgot about that.
That's the waiver sequel, yeah.
Yeah. Is it El Malloy? That makes
El Malloy.
I've never seen. I could never remember how it's said, so I just never remembered.
I hope whoever posted that plea for help.
I mean, I just think it's absolutely fucking hilarious that Waiver winds up taking Kane's idol after Kane was such a bitch to him.
Good, honestly, fucking.
Look, Kane arguably died a bit more horribly than he deserved, but not by much.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, especially when is it Uryu cast as Master?
Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke. He was a lot more heinous.
I mean, he was a fucking serial killer. Yeah. Yeah. Fate Zero is a really good series, though. Yeah. It's just.
This is it.
Incredibly rough.
Let's look around, see what we find.
Like, good God, there is so much drama in that series.
I mean, it's again a Robochi series. I'm not surprised.
This Linus. He must own the snake nest.
Yeah.
And he knows.
I mean, heck,
Atticus.
the Kamen Rider series he was allowed to work on also has his typical brand
We're
of
looking
writing.
for someone named Atticus. Haven't seen
The
anyone.
Ura Butcher
He
strikes
was
again.
meeting someone here. He disappeared.
I think
Yeah,
like half
people
the
do that
main
all
cast
over.
in the
Well, I'm
Kamen
still
Rider
looking into
series
it.
he did does
Wasting
die.
your time's your business.
Fucking hell. Yeah,
I don't
what should
think
we
we'll
call
get
it?
any answers from him.
I will say, like, if you do ever feel
Some burned
interested in
documents. Too burnt to get anything.
diving into
We should
Grand
get that
Order,
done.
I could
Search the area.
help curate it a little bit for you to help you out.
I think because of the nature of it also being a gacha game, I'm kind of just tapped out on a lot of gacha game media.
I would definitely, honestly, like, in your case, I wouldn't recommend going the gacha game route. I would recommend just
I also just
looking up YouTube.
I have seen stuff of Fate go, like even stuff from the anime, and I think a lot of it, as well as I don't like the character designs. The only character design I've seen that I kind of like is the new snake. She like a snake lady?
Blood. There's a trail.
Oh, Omi-san?
Yeah, the like, 1 second.
Ms. Snake.
I don't know if she's actually a snake lady.
The bloodstained shirt.
She's based off the legend of Mrs. Snake.
Yeah, Mrs. Snake. Yeah, she's the only design I've been like, oh, this actually looks quite interesting. In recent history, anyway, because like, maybe this is like blasphemous, but I'm not a fan of Ishtar.
I think OG Ishtar's design isn't all that great. I think Ereshkigal Gald's design is better.
I also don't care for all the Saberfaces.
Sick kid. His father thought Atticus
Honestly,
could
Saberface as an issue is kind of overblown.
feels off.
There are a lot of alternate versions of Arcoria, but yeah.
I mean, that's also it, and like, I don't...
We need to talk to her.
Maybe this is a very boomer take to have, but I'm not a fan of, like, all of the altars.
I'm trying to remember...
Like,
There's only
Jelta?
been a couple altars recently.
Maybe it's just because Jelta, for example, gets so many fucking
The
alts.
boss, Linus, knows him. We've been to Linus's home.
Jelta's only gotten one alt.
It's the boss.
Oh, I might be wrong then, but I feel like I've
He's
seen,
got
like,
sick.
a lot of
Urgent
Jelta.
meetings, always checking the storage.
That might just be
She's just
me.
extremely popular.
If you think
That
you
might
can
be
do
it.
something, I'll let you in.
I'll do what I can.
It's across the road.
Yeah, no, Jelta, I think she technically has two alts, but one of them is a de-aged version of her, who's also Santa Claus.
What? Oh, okay. That explains it. But yeah, it's just...
Yes,
And you know, like, I don't blame them for, like,
Bar storage.
putting focus into the
There has to be
characters
more
that are
here.
popular. You know, I think it's just that, like... Again, I'll wholeheartedly admit that this might be a bit of a boomer take, but, like... I just feel like it's become very... I'm trying to think of how to word it. It feels like... When I think of the average gacha game, derogatorily, Fate Go is usually up there in terms of, like, just the commodification of, like, how characters are just... I'm trying to think of how to explain it.
So, in terms of the altars, specifically, there's only been, like, a few of them in recent years. The most recent one to come out in Japan was Marie Antoinette altar, who was a pre-existing character. And before that was Nita Chris altar.
Right. I think a lot of it is probably just down to me, like, having seen so many of these, just the sheer popularity of the characters, maybe it's just how I've, like, what's the word? How they just come across in my mind, but I don't know. Oh, that was a risky fall.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
He lived. But
there's no fall damage in this game. Either I make the jump, or you know, it just goes away, or I just reset basically. So it's fine.
Gives you the Mortal Kombat like getting impaled.
Linus, the snake nest owner, he made a pact with a demon to save his kid, but the price.
Yeah.
It was too high.
Look, I know I'm addicted to the franchise because, of course, I am. But
there's a key.
I mean,
there's a lot of interesting stuff in there.
I was gonna say, there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it must be doing something well, obviously, if it's still going strong.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason the franchise has a lot of popularity to it. Also, like, I do think the Lost Belt storyline is very good. And, like, if it wasn't already kind of at least somewhat bound up in the in some of the narrative weight of the earlier parts of the franchise, I would say it would be worthwhile checking out on its own. Even then, still, it'd be worth looking into. Even if just like you look up YouTube clips of like the story sections. Yeah. What was I gonna say? There's also just some interesting concepts behind some of the newer servant classes, namely the Foreigner and Pretender class.
His locket. We can return it to Sabina.
Newer classes?
Yeah. You know, like the 7 basic classes plus like ruler and stuff.
Right.
Oh god, it did come with me.
So foreigners are basically those who wield power drawn from outside human boundaries, and most of them have connections with like Lovecraftian entities.
Okay.
There. Much sturdier than the old one.
I mean, it sounds interesting enough. Again, maybe I'm just a boomer when it comes to Fate. It's just
no, that's fair.
Because am I wrong in thinking that beasts are a concept in Fate Go?
Beasts are a concept, yes.
Yeah, and like I remember hearing about beasts, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't know, like.
Targets ahead.
You just not like beasts conceptually, or?
I think part of my issue with Fate Go is it feels like it's taken the series. I don't want to say. You know the problem people have with stuff like Naruto and Dragon Ball, like in the later parts of the series where it feels like it goes too far?
Kinda, yeah.
It feels like that for me, where like, you know, it feels like it's. I don't want to say jump the shark, but you know.
You think it's gone a bit too high on the scale?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it.
I mean, I can kind of get it. The stakes are quite high since it's, you know, it's a save the world story.
Yeah.
It makes sense for there to be, like, the main, like, major storyline big bads wind up being, you know, world-threatening entities.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, wow, what a wonderful thing to get.
Oh. It's actually not that bad if you do use your staff quite often. And medium armor is the best armor for that build.
I'm using light at the moment just because it does give me more mana.
Yeah. I mean, when you can mess around with enchantments more, and you can unlock the ability to like pretty much more than double your mana cap. That's when medium armor master becomes good, because then at that point you have enough where you can just like
Yeah.
punch through everything, and you don't need that extra mana regen. I mean, it basically took me until now, like most recently, where I finally have been able to complete my build, and I'm sure I'm near the end of Act 1, Act 2 even. God, Act 1, that'd be wild.
But that was never the whole story. There's secrets older than the city itself down here.
This I probably won't get away with, yeah.
Oh,
Have you ever considered playing like Dark Souls on stream?
No, if only because I am incredibly bad at Dark Souls games and it will take so fucking long.
Fair. I mean, if you ever want to play what I consider baby's first Dark Souls, Code Vein is quite fun. Because that one has an AI companion with you at nearly all times.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 companions in particular who are just really good, like no matter what build you have.
Well,
It's also like pretty easy to. I was gonna say it's easy to 100%. No, it's not, because there's a fucking multiplayer achievement, and no one plays the game anymore.
I mean, Fuzzy and I did play some Neo on stream for a bit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I mean, I finished the base game on stream. I do have the DLC for it, but I've never gotten that far in it.
To be fair, I've heard the DLC's like quite difficult, so I don't.
I remember I got to like one boss in particular that even when I tried to look up like, hey, what sort of like some ways you can beat her, everyone was saying, yeah, it's there are like maybe a couple of ways, and they're still really fucking hard to do.
Sabina,
You're back.
Fun.
But Atticus,
the man who took Atticus's life.
I mean,
He thought
Dark
he'd save
Souls
his child,
1, in my opinion, is actually
wasn't
quite
Atticus.
fair.
If
There's one boss fight that's
I'll see
just
what I can do.
obnoxious.
Yeah.
But everyone
No.
agrees it's obnoxious,
I
so
need
it's not
time.
like...
To put his
How would I
name on the
describe it?
wall
It's
of
not as
life.
if you're,
Thank you. At least for letting me
you
know.
would be alone in hating the boss.
Yeah.
Dogtown's desperate or being targeted, then falling victim to demons. The snake nest owner, the people Compassion found. What if it's all the work of the same demon?
It's a good theory, and bad news for the people it targets.
If we keep up the work in Dogtown, maybe we'll find more.
So on another note, Kaido, have you watched much anime recently?
No. Admittedly.
No, that's fair.
I bought like a haul of manga recently.
Ooh.
I got a Haikyuu volume, Kaiju number 8, Spy Family, Sakamoto Days, Golden Kamuy Way, The House Husband.
Good bad, good bad.
I didn't realize Kagurabachi had come out.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna buy that until I realized that the shop I was at only had volume 2. Volume 1 had sold out. Which, you know,
Yeah.
isn't ideal, but...
Yeah, I pretty much got volume 1 as soon as I could because I knew it would sell out quickly.
I mean, I still need to read some of the stuff I've got. Like, I've not even touched, delicious in dungeon yet, despite having got
Delicious
that.
in dungeon is really good.
Yeah, and like I've not reread OG Dragon Ball since I got it physically.
Hey, yeah.
And there's a few other ones like that I've got that I've just not touched that I really need to.
Yeah.
Like I've got like
I wish there was
3 Black Clover volumes I need to read through before I'm not caught up, but I've at least read all the ones I own. And I actually bought Toilet Band Hanako-kun, at least the first 2 volumes, and I've still not read that yet either.
Why
so
did Morgan want to meet in Minrathis?
I need to
Isn't she helping the
rectify
Veiljumpers
that.
in Arlethan?
Oh, you got plenty of material to work with.
Today we have a guest.
I do. It's just
Hey, Morgan.
Needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Do love Morgan.
Good to see you, Lace.
Hey, Inquisitor, you look different
you
from
remember
when
how
we,
Varric
you
and I
know,
served the
last saw
Inquisition?
you in your game.
Well,
Because
this
we
is
couldn't
Inquisitor
actually
Adar,
recreate you
the man
very
who
well.
led us all.
Why did you? Was it just the customization options?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Fair.
we could not find the right shaped face.
I actually didn't even bother. I was like, I can't remember what my Inquisitor looks like, and I'm not getting my PS3 to check. No, my PS4. Sorry.
I vaguely remembered what my like personal playthrough Inquisitor looked like. It has been a while, like with you, but then with the customization options, I think I made him look too Asian.
I just didn't care. I was just like, I could tell that.
Don't worry. Worry about the people you've recruited.
I could tell how they were going to use the Inquisitor, so I was like, nah, I'm not even bothering. I just want to play my game. It already took me ages to decide on my rook.
Without Dorian's magic and Josephine's diplomacy, we never would have come together to
what was I saying though? The problem I have with manga, and it's down to me being a lazy piece of shit, I like media that I can just stop at any time I want.
Do right by
Video games, I can just pause the game and like turn it off.
Yeah,
and I can come back to it later.
Good team, I think. We'll do our best.
Oh, you know, a YouTube video is the same.
Yeah, I mean the reason my playtimes for like Origins and my Origins and 2 playthroughs are so high is because I would habitually just pause and leave it for a little bit before coming back.
If not,
I mean, for me, it's just a case of like
most RPGs.
completely.
Yeah,
has
you
not
know.
been idle while you assembled your team.
But I mean, I do want to read some. It's really bad because because PlayStation Network was down like all day yesterday, and I did actually use that as an excuse to read some stuff.
Yeah.
And I forgot how, because I was reading Kaiju number 8, and I forgot how fun that is to read.
Have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Also,
I will say, Kaiju number 8.
Valrayo and Halal.
Yeah,
sorry.
The south is pretty fucked.
Already, if not for help from Orzammar.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, have you been to Orlais?
The Fereldans are holding the line in Redcliffe.
I mean, we started the stream by talking about how much of a shithole Ferelden is. It's not,
I was going to say, have you been to Denerim?
Her people and what's left of her army.
I don't think the Darkspawn is helping matters.
Maker, we didn't know. My ma.
Don't worry.
Did you see
I called in a favor with the
Lovering?
Divine. Your mother's safe with some old friends.
I'm just imagining they're like having an anniversary party, like, yeah, we finally managed to rebuild Lothering. Darkspawn Horde on the horizon. Ah, fuck.
Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall.
I was really confused why the Inquisitor was speaking like that, and then I remembered, oh yeah, the Inquisitor does have an American voice actor.
Yeah.
Come up here just to talk.
I just have never heard it
How did
because,
you get
like,
so
I don't
fast?
know anyone who
Did you
picked
think you were
it.
the only one to
I
unlock the
picked it
secrets of the
consistently, I think,
Illuvians?
actually.
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the
see.
Illuvians to travel.
No, it's all good.
Kind of suddenly disconnects.
I may still scurry between the walls of this
I mean,
world to be
I'm only
where
hearing
I
it because
do
it's
the
coming
most
through
good.
your
The
speakers
Inquisitor
now.
asked to
I'm not
meet
even.
you, and I thought
Like
it
I've said,
might
I've still got
help
the stream
you to meet
muted.
him.
What do we need? Jack, you haven't made a decision in a while.
God damn it. Fuck.
I need your gloves, your boots, and your motorcycle.
I mean, look, we already nicked Hawk's clothes from the Fade, so he's wandering around naked
Honestly,
somewhere.
Apparently, there was a mission in development to rescue whoever you left in the Fade in the last game.
I can't wait to rescue Stroud.
I mean, yeah, I think that would have been like.
Actually, no, it was Hawk because I let Stroud live in my playthrough.
I mean, he's not got much of a quality of life anyway.
But yeah, honestly, go with connections. Let's go through Josie.
I've been having trouble getting people in authority to listen to us. If you help with
That is
some of
also
your
true.
political strength.
My political strength? Tevinter hates me. The Venatori helped make sure of that. And while I have a few friends in the Wardens, their leadership hasn't much cared for me since we clashed at Adamant Fortress.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. He brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette.
Oh yeah, this is how we get this
others
bit.
like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic and it's tied to the veil. To him, somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
I'm not letting you make this choice, Jack.
I appreciate it. Solus has been
Why do you expect Jack to be sympathetic?
No, not really. I mean,
Anything that can help me
Jack,
get
I feel
inside
like
his
you've been
head
a little bit more
counts in
sympathetic than
getting
I've
inside mine.
been willing to be
Wisely
to Solus.
Solus rarely lies directly.
Sometimes you just need to
Find
play devil's
ways to
advocate.
weave the truth into a
Exactly.
mess you find yourself.
Also,
where-
I do still think Solus
Morgan
is a
is
punk
right.
bitch.
Solus is dangerous. Anything that gives us some insight into his plans. He fooled us all before. And the whole world very nearly paid the price for it.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help you, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have an interesting thing to do next stream.
Indeed. But we should probably wrap it up soon.
Yeah, we'll head back to the lighthouse, see if there's any talks we can participate in or over here. There's quite a bit, actually. People have quests.
Yes, that is one of the big event flags.
Yeah. Yeah, basically Inquisitor saying, yeah, things are fucked.
Yeah, I wish we could actually see and or do something about that.
Again,
What? Isn't that main right? What about that one writing technique? Tell, don't show.
God.
Unfortunately,
Honestly, if
development
if
of the
there
game
was-
got fucked.
I was gonna say, if there was gonna be ever any form of DLC for this game, I actually think being in the south of Thedas for a little bit would have been good.
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis.
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
I'd
EA
like to show you
hates
the
hates
peaceful
Dragon
side.
Age and single player games, so.
I mean, you don't even need to say Dragon Age. You can just say single player games and you'll be accurate.
To be fair, EA aren't in touch with like humans anyway.
So Bamara to the left.
Honestly, it'd be really funny if you just like decided to do a Cyberpunk playthrough, just to like
I cannot say.
just go really all in on the anti-capitalism.
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve
I mean,
that.
that's cyberpunk in a
Got
nutshell.
the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here.
I probably
And
will
did,
play Cyberpunk
sort
at
of,
some point.
A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
Should probably add it
I
to...
do think there is.
Ask the wrong question.
We're going to have to do like a
common
stream
affliction
filter or
of the
something because I know there's
weak-minded.
sexual content.
Also that.
I think you
it's
can
kinda
like
mean.
turn off sexual content. I
Just
know
Oh,
there's a
good.
setting.
Right
I know there's a
Was
setting
wondering
for the
about that.
copyright
Assuming you
music.
know how
Yeah.
to insult a spirit?
There probably
I've
will
never
be.
thought about it. How
I
would
should
you
put
do
it on my
that?
wish list so I know when it's
might know.
discounted.
Hold on a sec. I'm just
That
gonna
is an
go
idea.
into Cyberpunk and actually
Syrian
check the
learned
settings.
A lot. Taught me a lot about these archives. They have.
I will
well,
say,
not
there's a
thoughts
fucking
like
patch.
us, but
No,
sort
I'll
of
do that later.
pathways,
Oh no,
I guess.
did it instantly.
They
Okay.
can only respond to specific
I was gonna say
questions
there's
worded in specific ways.
a patch.
If
Not
you're
a patch.
powerful,
There was a thing
like
recently
almost
for
God level powerful, how would you talk to
Cyberpunk
someone
where
you
basically
see as
like
lesser?
a few quests were bugged and you physically couldn't complete them.
I'd probably just tell
Although
them
if there
what
was
to
a
do.
patch like a few
Right.
weeks ago,
Don't waste
then they
time on
might
them.
have
Just get to the
fixed.
point. Let's try it.
Not MSQ related stuff, like not the main
Tell
story.
me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. That was us.
Anaris. I know I've heard that name before.
Yeah, a Forgotten One. Remember the nursery rhymes? Don't speak their names or they'll come for you. Unlike our so-called good gods, which, well, we saw what happened there. So who knows what they really were? The Forgotten Ones. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive. Tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price.
Fair
when
enough.
Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
Archive. Tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards, hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable.
Yeah, there is a
Their
nudity
war
center for
is
Cyberpunk.
unending.
Censor for
But
Cyberpunk.
Anaris will prevail.
Have fun with the condescending spirit.
I'll try. Could be worse, I guess.
Worse,
Could it?
like the wound of betrayal Lord Anaris suffered. Soon he will cast down the oppressors and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Okay. I think I'm actually going to save those for next stream. I do actually need to head off right after this. So, do that. Okay, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. In terms of future stuff, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, as always. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and all that YouTube stuff. And that YouTube stuff. Jack?
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Is Jack not here then, I guess?
I don't know. He's fell in the toilet, let's just say that.
Okay.
Oh! He's gone.
Hopefully Jack will be out of the toilet by the time of the next stream. But thank you again for watching, and hopefully we shall see you on Tuesday. Good night.
Good night.